Thank you for watching Monday Night Kickoff. I am Fidel Barraza, alongside with me, Jerry Martinez, Kendall Whitley, and Walter Stringer. How you guys doing?
Hey,
Doing
okay.
good.
Man, Monday, let's go.
All right,
Super
yes,
cool.
tonight we have a matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Philadelphia Eagles. This is actually a very important game for both of these teams as we're inch closer to the playoffs. Jerry, I'll start off with you. What are your thoughts on the game?
I mean, when you look at it, uh, dang, like we thought the Rams, right? Let's look at the NFC West for a moment, right? Because at one point you're talking about a complete. You had three teams that all had the same, basically the same division, and for the longest, it looked like like the Seahawks were leading that division. And as of late, the Rams had turned it on, but I don't know what the hell happened to the Rams yesterday, right? They lost to the 49ers. So, I mean, when you stop, you look at it, and also uh, what's going on with the Cardinals, right? So, it just looks like, uh, when you look at the NFC West, it's not maybe what we thought it was earlier in the season, but the Seahawks is a team that we can never count out. Now, when you look at this team with the Philadelphia Eagles, the NFC East, it's the I think I don't know who was it, Kendall or somebody said it. Maybe it was Fidel. NFL least, or maybe it was Walter. NFC, the NFC least, right? Man, right now, I think you have who the Giants, and the Giants are leading, right? I believe because of how
The
they
Giants are
play.
up, but Daniel Jones is going to be out.
Yeah, and you see, so this game is even though it's not an intra divisional game, it's a very important game for the Philadelphia Eagles. Why? Because if you win this game, this will help you with the actual momentum that you need to be able to go ahead and go forward and win your division out. So it's very important for the Eagles to win this game.
Kendall.
I want to see. We've been hearing all week that the Eagles have been giving Jalen Hurts a lot of reps in practice. So I want to see if Carson Wentz struggle tonight. And the Eagles, they got some fans tonight. If he struggles, how quick would they be to pull the leash and put Jalen Hurts in? So that's what I want to see. From the Seahawks standpoint, they haven't played since what last was it Thursday for last when they played the Cardinals. So I mean, it's going to be a pretty good game tonight. I want to see who matches up against DK Metcalf, and I think the Eagles, man, it's a must win for the Eagles.
And then Walter, and me and you had a little bit of a discussion a little bit earlier about this quarterback situation.
Yeah, with the Eagles. Yeah, I feel
Yes.
that Carson's he's catching a real tough time right now. Financially, the Eagles are strapped. They really can't do much in free agency to help him out if they do decide to stick with him, or if they decide to move on from Peterson. I just think that in these type of situations with this type of team, if they lose that division, someone usually has to go. Whether it's fair or not, whether it's the coach or the quarterback, usually somebody gets the blame and somebody gets the boot. But I am tonight interested in seeing if Seattle can go out and take care of business because to piggyback on what Jerry was just saying earlier, those teams in that division all beat each other. You know, the 49ers beat the Rams twice this season. Arizona split with Seattle. Like those teams all know each other and they can all beat each other. So I think the division is still strong. We're just seeing how strong it is because despite all those injuries the 49ers have suffered this season, the 49ers are still enough to beat every team in that division on any given Sunday. And
Right.
they proved it this season.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams are struggling, a little bit. More the Philadelphia Eagles, but for them, I think they're probably in the most winnable situation as far as the division goes, right? The Giants are leading right now, but just how I mentioned earlier, it looks like Daniel Jones is going to be out at least for a couple of weeks. So it's going to be a very important game for the Eagles, but most importantly, Carson Wentz. There's been a lot of chatter. Your second string quarterback got first team reps this week. I mean, if you're Carson Wentz, you got to come out and you got to execute, especially against the struggling Seattle Seahawks defense.
Look at that, Walter. We have an interesting comment here by Anthony Valentino. So I'm tired of the coach. I'm a diehard fan. Eagles beat 49ers too. So real quick, we're talking about the NFC West, right? Do you think
Yeah.
that this is the year that the 49ers defensive coordinator Sala,
Solid.
right? Sala.
Solid.
Do you think
Yeah.
uh, uh, do you think that that this year he gets his head coaching gig?
I think it's possible. I
Hey,
know
let me.
here in Detroit, they were actually discussing Salah's name this morning on the radio.
Mm.
But they're
Wow.
throwing a lot of names around here in Detroit right now. But it could be the season for him to get that job finally.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you this question right now. Do you think that maybe perhaps it is time for the Eagles to move on? What seeing with all the struggles that we've seen, uh, uh,
And Carson,
Carson Wentz have?
personally, I don't think so. It's just they caught between a rock and a hard place right now, like I said, because they want to get better, but financially they really can't get better because they gave a lot of money a couple years ago. They sacrificed a lot of that salary cap to win. They paid a lot of money to that offensive line. They brought in some bad contracts. They lost some guys that had some draft picks that didn't pan out. And now financially they're put in a situation where they go into this offseason. How do you honestly get better? And if you say, you know what, we're gonna sacrifice Wentz, okay? Well, if you're gonna sacrifice Wentz, are you really gonna put Jalen Hurts behind this team, or are you gonna go out and draft a Zach Wilson or a Kyle Trask and put them into this situation where the cupboard is bare and there's nothing? So
Well,
can Jalen Hurts really do more with this team right now than Carson Wentz?
Sania wants Hurts in, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're the Eagles, I think Carson Wentz still gives you the best chance to win, especially win this division. This game's going to be very telling of what the Philadelphia Eagles do moving forward. But let's also not forget Doug Peterson deserves some of the blame as well, not just Carson Wentz.
If Wentz struggles
Yeah,
tonight, I think they're gonna put Hurts. I think Hurts will finish the game, and he might finish the season because if you struggle tonight and you put in Hurts, you can't go back to Carson Wentz after tonight.
I
You
believe
can't do
right.
that. I think you got to.
I believe the writing is on the wall, Kendall. I think you're absolutely right on this one. If if I think I don't know how many scripted plays that I know that they've always tried to implement Jalen Hurts and they have, but I don't know how many plays they've scripted for him in this game. But from what I've been reading and researching, it seems like they have a good variety of plays to really see what he could do. I will say this: if Wentz does struggle and Hurts excels in those plays, watch out, man. Philadelphia is not a city that you want to play around with. I mean that fan base will turn on you faster than I don't know. Give me a good line, Walter.
It kind of seems like since the Eagles won the Super Bowl against this team a couple years ago, they really haven't done much. You know, they got eliminated a couple years ago to the Saints when Nick Foles played for them. So it seemed like they went all in to beat the Patriots a couple years ago, but since then they ain't done much.
They've been hurt. If you think about it,
Yeah.
Kendall, since they won that Super Bowl, they've been limping to the playoffs pretty
Mm-hmm.
much every year. You know,
Oh,
it's they've had a lot of bad luck. A lot of bad luck. I don't
And
believe it's all wins.
It's not.
I just
I
don't
think the
believe it's
only
all
good
wins. We've
thing
seen the best wins.
I, I think the only good thing that they've done the past couple of years is the Philly special. That's the only thing they known for lately. It's just the Philly special. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and this is actually a rematch from Wild Card Weekend from last year, right? Seattle went to Philadelphia and got that win. Carson Wentz actually got hurt during the game, if I'm not mistaken, and Josh McCown was actually the quarterback for the Eagles that finished the game. So it was a very tight, close game. We'll see what happens tonight. Let's get some picks. Start off with Jerry.
Man, give me the Seattle Seahawks. And I'm saying this truly because I think that the Seahawks are that better than the Eagles, not just because I'm a Cowboy fan.
Kendall.
I know I just said a lot of negative things about the Eagles, but I got a feeling the Eagles gonna win tonight, 23-17.
Ooh. Look, Anthony, come on. You can't be saying that you guys don't have a corner and Metcalf's going to go off. Kendall just predicted the win. He's the one who predicted that the Raiders win yesterday.
I think he's talking about last year when they played against each other. Maybe. Walter.
Yeah, I'm going to go Seattle 26-21. I think the Eagles play well tonight. I think Wentz plays as long as he can play with respect. You know, it's getting kind of sad. I don't like to see Wentz out there look like that.
You
I'm
saying
still a
last
big
year.
Wentz guy. Yeah, I'm a big Wentz guy still. So I don't want to see him go out there and look the way he's been looking. So I think if Wentz can have a solid game, that'll save another week. That'll will at least get people off his back somewhat. I don't think anyone really expects them to win tonight, but who knows with Seattle? Seattle plays down to some competition sometimes, and Seattle will go out and lay a dud.
Desperation. That's the word that I'm going to use tonight for tonight's game. And I think the Eagles, their backs against the wall, so I'm going to go with them.
Wow. So you got the Eagles 2-2.
I'll take the Eagles.
So
I'm right
Kendall,
here with you for there.
Walt, me and you, Walt.
Look,
Yep,
I mean,
I got Seattle.
I think there's more on the line in tonight's game than just a win and a loss. Quarterback situation, coaching situation. I think everything's going to be on the table for the Eagles if they do lose. Given the Seahawks,
Right.
Metcalf, Lockett are going to have fun. Yeah, they might have some fun, but I think
Yeah,
the Eagles are
Sania.
going to go through. All right, guys. Any final thoughts before we get off?
I just want to say, Sania, I'm sorry about the loss last night with the Bears. I know it was kind of rough for you last night, but other than that, on this game, I don't have any thoughts.
Well, I'll say this. Hey, stay tuned. I know that we do have a jam-packed week this week. We have a
Come on,
huge guest
man.
coming on Wednesday. We're going to keep that under wraps, but that's why you should tune in to every show to find out who we're going to have. Trust me, you do not want to miss this guest that we are bringing on to the podcast. Also, we have our Thursday kickoff, and I believe we're going to have the last call return in the huddle on Saturday, and of course, Sunday kickoff with Coach Hugh Jackson. Uh, that's about it.
Man, let's not get into it. Man, see what you did, Kendall? Man, come on.
Man,
So yeah, I'm with you
let's
all the
not get
way.
into Alshon Jeffrey either.
You're being a dead horse. Come on, man. Walter, any final thoughts?
Yeah, man. Why is Alshon Jeffrey still in Philadelphia?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's above my pay grade.
Gotcha.
Man, look, Walt, you got a fan? Come on, I need some fans. Come on now.
All right,
Man,
all right.
let's get it. Let's get this football. We got a ton of games coming up, man. We got a triple header
Yes,
on
sir.
the week 15. We got games on next week.
And on Wednesday,
He's
too, right?
hemorrhaging football right now, man.
Yeah. And let's not forget this Steelers and Ravens game again got moved back, so it will not be tomorrow. It's actually going to be Wednesday, and I believe
At
it's going to
3:40
be
Eastern.
yeah. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys are following us all on all our social platforms. Also, too, a new podcast is out, and it is still relevant. So make sure you go check that out. East West Football Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you find your podcast, you'll find ours. All right, guys, enjoy the game.